All right, Sports Inquirer. We are here at Sunbelt Football Media Day. We are joined by Coastal Carolina head coach Tim Beck, third season with the program. Uh, Last season, 6 wins, dropped the bowl game, but just overall impressions of last season, some positives, and maybe some areas that you can improve on now that you've had time to look at it.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for sure. It wasn't quite up to our expectations, right? Coastal Carolina is a program we take a lot of pride in playing for championships, and so we fell short of that goal. And so anytime you're not in that championship game or competing for that opportunity to hoist the trophy, it's always going to be a disappointing season at the end of the day. But it was a great learning experience. There's a lot of things to take from it. We started fast, and I learned in the off season and some, self-evaluation of just as you get to your second, third guys that have to play in the game, like who's ready, who's not. Like, how do you know if your team's really ready for those tough times? Because the tough times come, right? It's not if they come, it's when they come. And so you have to prepare your football team for that. So it's one of the things that we focused on this year. I made a lot of transition. Coastal Carolina's going through it, and it's a great time to be there. Our indoor facility, we are redoing our turf. We have new president and our athletic director, Chance Miller, and all the things that he's doing and support. And we hired a general manager in Scott Aligo. So all the things that are falling into place at Coastal, it's a great time to be there. And so getting new staff guys to come in to help for what we needed, right? I look back, what does Coastal Carolina need? How do we get us back to playing for championships? And those were the decisions that were made.
Yeah, and I just the number is around 40 new players on the roster, give or take a few. What led you think to that roster turnover? Was it just bringing new players in, maybe just other players trying to find different opportunities? What led to think that significant number of turnover?
So reality, I think we're at 60.
Oh,
new.
okay.
We're ended up at 60 new. What led to it? A couple of things. Obviously, we had the wrong players, right? At some point, at times, right? And again, our administration and their support to be able to allow to keep the players we needed to keep. The Shane Bruce's, the Nick Del Grandes, the players like that, to be able to provide for them what your opponents do, right? And so our administration's been able to do that. We're able to retain some key players that we needed to, foundational players, culture players, players that have played a lot of football, players that have had success, but also understand the culture of Coastal Carolina. And so we were able to do that. Other guys that we lost maybe weren't those guys. Does that make sense? So,
of course, yeah.
And then we recruited in such a way to bring in those guys that want to win. Culture's important. They're good character, good students. All of that criteria that we met, we refocused, and I really like where our team's at right now.
Yeah, now you have your first full season with Drew as your offensive coordinator. What about what he's bringing to the fold as the OC and now fully entrenched in that position?
Yeah, I mean, excitement, fast, violent. Like he loves football. I mean, all the things that you look for, the energy and the positivity. He's got a plan. He's got a great system in place, and he's got a great staff that's with him, that's helping offensively, that have played in it or coached in the system, so they understand it, and it's easier to teach and to communicate, because that's a big part of today's game in college football, similar to the NFL, right? If an NFL GM signs a free agent for whatever, $100 million, they want him to play. They don't want him sitting on the bench because he can't learn the offense or defense. So college is not much different than that. If we're in an age of transfer portal and you have new players transitioning every year, coming and going, it's harder to develop a guy. Freshman year will teach him. Redshirt freshman year, he might play a couple special teams plays. Sophomore year, he might be a backup, and junior year start. They're gone by then, right? So you got to be able to have a system in place that guys can come in, you plug them in, and they can play.
And what about having a guy like Nick, your junior offensive lineman, and his contributions?
Yeah, Nick's done a great job. I mean, he's started every game for 2 years. first team preseason, all Sun Belt Conference, offensive lineman. He's a great young man, smart, got a great head on his shoulders, good family, extremely hard worker. He's developed his game. Could probably play any position on the offensive line if we needed him to. But his leadership, right? What he provides, the value is so much is because he's been here and watched Coastal Carolina win at a high level that he's able to hold guys accountable to that.
And you got a new defensive coordinator in Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah.
What led to that decision? And just or actually better yet, what was appealing to him to bring into the program, and what are you seeing from him so far?
Yeah, so obviously same thing, right? Finding a system where guys can plug and play fast, not overcomplicated. I looked back the success JJ has had at different programs, and I looked at the unique style of the defensive system to be a little bit different. So he kind of checked the box and all this. And when I talked to him, I was very, very impressed with him. We kind of connected. The things that he feels are really important in a player and in a program are very similar to what I believe is important in a player and a program, besides the X's and O's, right? So at the end of the day, it was a great fit, and he brought along most of his staff with him. So he brought his family. I mean, technically, it was like his family that had been with them. So their communication, their ability to teach, their ability to know what one's thinking is second to none, which translates to these guys being able to play fast.
Yeah, and you brought Shane Bruce with you to media day as well, graduate linebacker. What about his contributions to the team and what he's going to bring to Coastal?
Yeah, Shane's played a lot of football, and he was our leading tackler, and he's a tremendous student athlete, great young man, and a great leader. He's been the bell cow for us last year, even probably 2 years ago. Same thing. Just he's been steady, solid. Tremendous football player, but even a better person. And so our players gravitate immediately to him. So when they're around him, they can feel who he is, and his confidence and his ability to make plays just oozes out of him. And so our guys feel good about having him on the field, leading them.
Yeah, once again, we're here with head coach of Coastal Carolina, Tim Beck, as the team progresses here on Sunbelt Media Day. Just what are one or two things the team will have to execute well as a unit, do you think, to really achieve the goals that you are looking to have this year?
I'd say the first thing is we can't beat ourselves, right? I talked to our football team, and that's the accountability. The Shants can't beat the Shants. We can't take foolish penalties. We can't have self-inflicted wounds. We got to protect the football, those type of things, right? When you look at, I use our baseball team as an example, to be able to get to the College World Series final, and Coach Snall and his staff did a tremendous job, but they never beat themselves, right? Other teams had to actually beat them. And so we've gone through that this offseason, and the accountability piece, that if you don't do your job or you do something selfish, you do something for the betterment of you as a person, the whole team suffers. And so that they're learning that, and they're realizing that stinks. Like, that's not very fun. I know that equates to losing into a game, and so you teach them those things. So to me, that's the biggest thing that we have to be able to do.
Absolutely. And wrapping up here with Coach Beck from Coastal Carolina, some fun questions here. Favorite stadium that you've been able to coach in, besides, of course, your home at Coastal, which is a unique atmosphere in itself from the turf and everything out there.
Yeah.
But besides Coastal, a favorite stadium that you've been able to coach in?
My home stadium or an away stadium or what?
Either way.
There's been some good ones now. Nebraska was awesome. Like
Nebraska.
home game at Nebraska is good.
Okay.
Ohio State, those home Ohio State games were tremendous. Texas, those are all that game day experience and playing those night games on national TV against top ranked opponents. It's hard to not rank those up in the top.
Yeah, but Conway is unique in its way. It definitely is, especially with the turf and everything.
And the people, right? Conway and the Teal Nation, they love Coastal Carolina and support
football,
it.
Yeah, and is that turf is just it's a striking, and
it's going to be better. We're getting new.
Yeah, you did say. Yeah, I think you did mention
turf,
that you're returfing. So we'll look forward to seeing that. Favorite recruit that you were able to sign? Maybe not. You can name a few, but maybe just someone that you was lower regarded and turned into a really good player, or maybe someone that You worked on him hard. You had to travel, some unique experiences just to get him on campus.
Wow.
You've had a full career. I know it's
I've
a lot.
I've had I've had some unbelievable recruits. So, gosh, almighty, yeah.
We'll circle back. We got one
Yeah,
or two.
it's hard to. I can almost name one per position. Almost, yeah.
Well, then another one. Maybe best high school recruit that you witnessed in person. Maybe someone you didn't sign, or maybe someone you did sign, or one or two that this is.
I would say the most impressive high school statistical player I ever recruited was Bijan Robinson.
Mm.
When Bijan averaged like 22 yards a carry his senior year.
We're based in Atlanta. Yeah, we're familiar with Bijan. Yeah,
I
so
recruited
that's
Bijan at Texas, but he out of South Point High School in Arizona. But yeah, he averaged like 22 and a half yards a carry his senior year, the whole year, like not a game, like the whole year.
That's pretty incredible. What's one thing that you would like to see improve kind of in the college football landscape that you think we could do a little bit better at?
Players or just what?
No, just in general.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the NIL or maybe the
Yeah,
transfer portal.
I think somehow we have to figure out a way to like it's necessary. NIL, rev sharing is all necessary, and I'm all for that. It's just harder because it's the Atlanta Falcons, if they're playing for the Super Bowl, Bijan Robinson doesn't go and sign a free agent contract the week of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so I think in that your scheduling, I think is
like
because if you're in the game long enough,
we're
too,
bowl prepping and guys are leaving your team.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, we've been covering since there was only one signing day, kind of one transfer period. But what I'm hearing from other coaches is the portal just does not end. It's like so I think that.
And think about it, like
people want it more centralized.
Yeah, like you're for our level, you're playing a bowl game in December, but these guys are getting DM'd and tampered with in November.
And don't forget about the spring.
Yeah,
that's nothing. Spring game, you're literally losing or gaining players after spring ball. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, that's like having OTAs, and then if then Joe Burrow decides to leave Cincinnati. Like, what? Like, there's nothing that holds guys, and so that makes the job much more challenging for a coach because you just never really know what the next year is going to hold, and to be able for y'all as media to sit there and rank teams, how you think they're going to finish. I don't know how you do that.
It's tough doing previews.
I don't know how you do that.
Toughest year of doing previews of looking at projections. But just one more thing. What's the best coaching advice that you received that you've been able kind of to pass along to a fellow player?
Best coaching advice?
Or maybe the best advice you've given, just something you came up with and you've like, this is some really good antidote for this situation for this young man.
I would think something that was told to me as a young person when I got in this profession and could apply to potentially players now. Don't chase money. Like at the end of the day, your reputation, your product of what you do and who you are is much more valuable. And your word, who you are, much more valuable. And at the end of the day, if you're doing all the right things with respect to that, the rest of it comes.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And good luck this season.
All right, thank you.